So y'all already know that I did a video on the whole Jerrod and Tyler the Creator situation, and because of that, when Jerrod's joke went viral on social media or whatever because of the HBO show, whatever, y'all was tagging me in the joke like, Adrian, you got to talk about this, Adrian, you got to talk about this. So I was just, and I looked at it, I was like, okay, girl, like, we are not shocked that this man said this about his boyfriend or about his relationship with his boyfriend. Like, I'm not shocked given what he was showing us, given what how he talked, what he was talking about. I was not shocked at this joke. But like the fact that he went on to The Breakfast Club to try and explain it and it ended up being so much worse to me, it's just like, we have to talk about this. We got to talk about it. Let's go. First of all, my birthday is on April 19th. It is Friday, and I will be dropping new music. It's a small project, just 3 songs on it, but make sure that you're ready. You're preparing your wig to be snatched up on Friday to prepare yourself. Also, make sure that you listen to my latest EP before the new one comes out, my latest project. The link to that will, of course, be in my description. So let's talk about Jerrod's joke before we get to what he and Charlamagne or whatever the fuck was talking about in that clip on The Breakfast Club. I hate that we even still got to reference The Breakfast Club. Oh my God. But, it is what it is, child. So Jerrod's joke that he told on stage, that caused all this social media backlash, right, this joke was him saying that he told his white boyfriend that he feels like he is the son of Massa teaching Jerrod how to read. This is what he said exactly. My boyfriend, he makes me smarter. He makes me read. I have so many books. Realistically, I'm not going to read all those books. He knows that. But the fact that I bought them says, I love you. They're little monuments around my apartment, just like, look at this book from Amazon I'm never going to read. He said, this is what Jerrod is saying about his white boyfriend. I sometimes joke to him that like our relationship is like that of a slave and the master's son who teaches me to read by candlelight. And it's just like, oh my God. Like the fact that your mind even went there and that not even, it's already horrible, but like teaching me to read by candlelight is So of course the audience groans a little bit at the joke. And then he says, well, yeah, he, meaning his boyfriend, yeah, my boyfriend groans too because he's a good person. He doesn't like that effing joke. I like that joke. That's my burden. I think that shit's hilarious. Then he goes on to say in this exact voice, like mimicking like his interaction, his joking, whatever interaction with his boyfriend. He said, yes, Marie Antoinette, I don't know what that is. That's the exact voice that he used. And then he went on to, after all this shit and the social media backlash and he went on to The Breakfast Club talking about y'all taking the joke out of context, right? So like within the first minute of him sitting down responding to this entire thing, he was already comparing some gay black men who had a problem with that joke, or who just found the joke corny and unfunny and boring. He compared gay black men to members of the Klan, basically reducing black gay men, the black queer community's critique of the joke, reducing their critiques to, oh, you just don't want to see interracial couples. I find it so interesting that that's the first thing y'all go to when we're trying to unpack this shit. Like when we're trying to unpack these destructive dynamics, right? Instead of looking at why people have an issue with it, this weird ass joke, and unpacking that, you automatically jump to, well, you black people are just like the Klan because y'all don't want to see, people of different races together. Y'all just ignorant. You know what I mean? And it's just, meanwhile, none of this conversation would be happening if you weren't joking like you was some slave girl. None of this would be happening. There are so many interracial couples who just live their life and go on about their day. You know what I mean? Being shocked that you're getting a reaction to this kind of joke is very corny to me. And then on top of that, it's so disingenuous to frame black people reacting to this kind of joke as, oh, y'all just don't want to see, different races together. It's very, 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 very corny. Now, remember, Jerrod said that, oh, y'all took the joke out of context. But then Charlamagne told him, well, in context, that's still not a good joke. Charlamagne said, you're still saying you're a slave that's being taught how to read by Massa. Like what what more context do you need, bro? And side note, real quick, side note, if I'm ever brought onto the Breakfast Club against my will, because that's the only way that you would see me on there, right? If I'm ever brought to the Breakfast Club against my will, and Charlamagne is dragging me and he has good points, just take me out back to the shed and end it. End me. Because like, Charlamagne making good points in your face, you need to just hang it up, bro. Like, hang it up. So he goes on to explain the logic of the joke, and the shit just makes it even worse to me, okay? Listen what he said on the Breakfast Club. He said, I'm an educated person. I'm usually the smartest in the room. Then he said that his boyfriend reads so much, it makes me feel like, oh, do I even know how to read? He said, that joke works if I had a black boyfriend. That joke actually works better if I had a black boyfriend. And, you know, we could stop right here because there's so much to analyze already, right? Because there's so many issues with this to me. You're an educated person. You say you're an educated person. You ain't ever been around nobody else who reads as much as your white boyfriend. Like, your white boyfriend is the first person, you claim to be educated, you educated. Your white boyfriend is the first person you came across that reads that much that it made you, like, read so much that it made you think of slave/massa dynamics? Girl, I don't, like, anyone, and on top of that, anyone who says I'm usually the smartest in the room is someone who probably is not skilled at reading that room, right? I'm not saying that you should walk into each room thinking that you're the dumbest. But if you walk into rooms automatically assuming that you're the smartest one in there, that you're, you know, the smartest in the room, that's that kind of arrogance that blinds. That's that arrogance that leads people into situations that they could have avoided if they just opened their goddamn eyes. Like, girl, you talking about, oh yeah, well, I'm usually the smartest in the room. Okay, what? Then he said that this joke would work better if he had a black boyfriend. And it's just like, yeah, I guess it would, but you don't have a black boyfriend. But how could you even make this kind of joke with a black boyfriend anyway? Like, just based off of the dynamics of the joke, it don't work with a black boyfriend. How you want it to, especially if you, girl. And it's just like, oh, if I had a black boyfriend, girl, I guess we'll never know, girl. We'll never find out because you don't have a black boyfriend. So what? He keeps saying, don't misconstrue what I said. Don't make it into something that it's not. But to me, I'm just like, it is what it is. You said what you said, and we didn't misconstrue anything. We just thought it was unfunny and corny, and you don't like that we thought that. But the main point here is that Jerrod got hung up on the fact that people said that he was into race play when he said, all I did was just tell a joke about my insecurity. He said it has nothing to do with sex. It has nothing to do with what we like to do in bed or whatever. It's just about reading. It's just about my insecurity about reading. And to me, I'm just like, yes, bro, it's a joke about your insecurity or whatever, which is rooted in this like weird race play kinds of dynamics, which you said yourself, like the fact that you like that joke or these kinds of jokes or that kind of stuff in general was quote unquote your burden. And at the same time, you said that you thought that shit is hilarious. So to me, Jerrod is really focused on the fact that so many people extrapolated so much from just one joke, where he's just like, all I did was tell a master slave joke about reading and stuff, and y'all just extrapolated so much and applied it to my bedroom. Y'all said I'm into slave race play when that's not true. It was just one joke about reading, right? But when you tell a joke like that and you think it's so far, like the fact that it even popped in your head like that, there's automatically a lot to extrapolate. There's a lot to extrapolate. Like, you can keep telling us, oh, it's just about reading, it's just about my insecurity about reading, but that joke came from somewhere, and you can't act like we're crazy for pointing it out. I mean, you can, I guess, act like we're crazy, but to me, that's corny. So Charlamagne just responded and said it wasn't a good joke. After all that, said it wasn't a good joke, and Jerrod was like, well, the crowd laughed. And then Charlamagne came back with, well, was the crowd laughing with you or at you? And this question is something that something that a lot of y'all need to consider 100%. And I hate that it came from Charlamagne's ass. That's what I said. Like, if I am on the Breakfast Club and Charlamagne is dragging me, y'all, I done failed in life. So yeah, Charlamagne was like, are they laughing with you or at you? And he's talking about the white crowds basically that come to see him. And in my head, I'm like, Jerrod gets off on being embarrassed apparently. He don't care either way. He don't care if they're laughing at him or with him, as long as that check clears. And hey, he on HBO, he got this big ass career, you know what I mean? He ain't on YouTube making no videos, bitch, like he on HBO. So, you know, more power to you, girl. But it's like, I'm gonna ask the question again. Are they laughing with you or at you? And it's funny because you saying this kind of like slave race jokes in front of like majority white folks, because you are over here saying, oh, on the Breakfast Club, he said, there's actually a pretty decent amount of black people coming to see me. Like he was shocked about that shit. Shit, me too at this point, bro. Like he was shocked about that shit. So you're saying these kinds of jokes in front of white folks, you know what I mean? Trying to get them to laugh. And, you know, whatever, you're doing what you're doing. But to me, you're enjoying race play dynamics on stage in front of everyone else, and you're mad that people extrapolated that you probably like it elsewhere too? Be for real, bro. Be for real. So it's like, yeah, bro, it was just one joke, but what's it rooted in? What's it rooted in? The fact that even popped in your head, the fact that it popped in your head and then you said it in front of a bunch of white folks trying to get their ass to laugh. Girl, some of them was groaning at this corny ass joke. Girl, it's just like, what? Okay, so you told the joke, but what is it rooted in? And that's the main point. Like, he tried to get on Breakfast Club talking about, oh, y'all just took one little joke about reading and made it about everything. But girl, we can extrapolate. We can make assumptions based on the joke. And if you don't want us to make certain assumptions, babes, don't make the joke. It's comedy, girl. Y'all get up there. You tell the jokes. We critique it, girl. That's how it works. You was over here, you know, apologizing to Dave Chappelle for calling his ass out and all this shit. So you'd be doing the same shit, bro. Like, I think I would have respected it more, because if he just went up there and said, look, this is my thing, girl. Instead of acting like we're crazy for extrapolating certain things from the joke, certain things from the fact that you even told the joke in the first place. Like, at least Tyler, the Creator, stands up in the fact that he's like, girl, if it ain't giving Sean Cody, it's just not giving, right? Like, as terrible as that is, like, at least he stand up in it. Jerrod going on Breakfast Club talking about, well, actually, it's taken out of context. Don't misconstrue. Like, girl, please. Girl, please. So tell me what y'all think about this. Do y'all think I'm reaching? Do you think that I'm making sense? Were you surprised by that joke, or were you not, girl? I was not shocked at all, girl. I was like, this is probably the least messed up joke that this done told when it comes to these dynamics. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Love y'all so much, and make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.
And that's why you can't take me, you hate me. I don't want your nigga, you crazy. That nigga too lazy. I need me a nigga who can tame me. Coming through and make your nigga sweat.